Let's talk a little bit more about script files and how we're going to combine input and output in scripts. Because if you have a short little program, typically you're going to have both input and output in your scripts. And here's just a general format. So we're going to have input to get data from our user. So if you need them to supply you data, you'll use your input function. And then typically you're going to perform some calculations. And finally, you will use fprintf to display your formatted data. All right, now typically what you want to do is you only want to display your output through the fprintf function. You don't want to display it just when the code executes each line. So to prevent that, let's go ahead and use semicolons at the end of the lines. That will suppress all the output, and then the only output we will see will come from fprintf. And then it'll be formatted just the way we want. Okay, so let's go back. Let's look at an example. So this is an example dealing with metabolic rate, and it's going to be used to figure out your daily calorie recommendations. And here I've got an equation for male adults to calculate their BMR. And you can see what it is. So it's going to be 66 plus 6.23 times your pounds of body weight plus 2.7 times your height in inches minus 6.76 times your age. And that equals the BMR. All right, and you can notice I've got these asterisks. That just shows you where I got this equation from in case you're interested. All right, now for a male that exercises 3 to 5 times per week, your daily caloric requirement is going to be 1.55 times the BMR. And that also is from this same website. So what we want to do is we want to write a script that's going to collect the data from the user, and then we'll determine the amount of calories per day that are needed. Okay? And for all the ladies out there, here is your equation. All right? In case you want to switch to that equation. So let's go to the example. Now if you look at that equation we had, we needed weight, height, and age. So we're going to use 3 input statements to collect that data. All right. So we've got weight, and then we've got height, age. So just specify the prompt you want. So enter the weight. Typically you want to put the units on there. In this one I did the colon just because I think it makes it look nice. For height, you have enter height, put inches, and then finally enter age. Okay, so you're going to collect all of your data. Whatever they input in gets stored in these variable names. And then we come up with our expression for BMR. All right, so this expression matches the equation found on the last slide. All right, so we got our expression ready, and then calories for the man, it's going to be 1.55 times your BMR. Okay. Notice I've got these semicolons here because I don't want all this information displayed. I just want to see the formatted statement. All right. So finally we have our fprintf. So here's what gets displayed. It's going to state daily caloric requirement equals, gives us the number for a man of age, and then it puts in the age, right? And then we have the new line character, so that way the cursor moves to the next line. All right, so calories go first in this location, and then age goes right here. All right, and this is going to be floating point because we're multiplying by 1.55, and over here age is just going to be a whole number. So we use %d because that's an integer. So if you run it, this is what it'll look like. These statements here get displayed to the user. So I just put in 200 for an example. I put in 72 for height, and then I put in an age of 23. Okay, so MATLAB then goes through, it does the calculations for BMR and then calories, and then you can see your final output. All right, so this is your only output you're going to get from running this script. So it tells you your daily caloric requirement is 3,209.93 for a man of age 23. All right, so that's kind of how scripts use input and the fprintf to get information and display the final values that were calculated. Right, I will see y'all in the next slide.